Hi, I'm Honza. Welcome back to the Orchesty tutorial series. In this video, I'll show you how to work with webhooks, including how to subscribe and unsubscribe them. Also, we'll have a look at how Orchesty keeps track of existing webhook subscriptions across different topologies. If you'd like to try the example yourself, you can find instructions on how to download and set up the demo worker in the link below. Let's get started. We'll start this tutorial in the Applications overview. If we want to register webhooks through an API, Orchesty handles this at the application level. Of course, we could build a standard connector for webhook registration and handle it as a regular API call inside a topology. But we'll see that using a webhook application gives us several advantages. So let's install the webhook test application. There's nothing to authorize here, so we only need to activate the application and then we can move on to topologies. This time we'll create the topology manually, so we can see how to add a webhook trigger. Let's go straight to the editor and add a new webhook trigger. Double-clicking the element shows us all webhooks available from the applications in our worker. To save the topology, we need at least two elements, so let's add the timestamp action from our first tutorial. We don't need to add a breakpoint here because we're interested in the webhook signals themselves, and those are not captured by a breakpoint. Of course, when you build a real topology, you can also start it from a webhook trigger during testing and use breakpoints as usual. Let's save the topology and start it. Now, we still need to subscribe the webhook, and that's it. Our mock server sends a signal to the webhooks every minute. So in a moment, we'll be able to check the Processes tab and see that new processes are being started regularly. In the meantime, let's look at how Orchesty keeps track of registered webhooks. We'll try changing the webhook in the editor. This is a good point to mention that every change to a running topology creates a new version. This makes changes safe, and switching versions is completely seamless. Orchesty starts routing incoming signals to the new version, while the old version continues processing any messages that are still running. Now we'll save the changes. Orchesty first warns us that there's an active webhook subscription somewhere, so signals are still being sent to the original address we registered. We'll choose to save anyway and continue with the next steps. Once we publish the new version and try to activate it, Orchesty asks us to confirm that we really want to switch to the new version. In my case, this is already version 3 because I created an extra version earlier for demonstration purposes. Once we switch versions, Orchesty warns us about the old webhook, which can no longer be processed. Using the cleanup action, Orchesty calls the unsubscribe operation for that webhook. This is how Orchesty keeps track of every change or version switch and always warns you about webhook subscriptions that still belong to inactive topologies. Finally, we can check that the process is indeed being started every minute. And that's it for this tutorial. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in another one.